When we think about volume, we always have to remember that volume is measured in cubes. And to get a cube, we have to take an area and we have to give it a third dimension or give it height. So when we think of volume of any prism, we're thinking of it as the area of its base times the height. Okay, so it's the area of the base times the height. So when we talk about the volume of a cylinder, we can come up with a formula for the volume of this cylinder because we want to take the area of the base, so the volume is going to be equal to the area of the base, which is pi r squared. So that's my area of the base. And then times it by the height. Okay, so we're going to get squares here, and then we give those squares some height or thickness, and that's going to make the cubes that will measure the volume of that cylinder. So looking at this quarter here, a quarter is approximately 24 millimeters thick, it has a diameter of 24 millimeters, and it has a thickness of 1.6 millimeters. So when we take the volume of this, we want to first of all find the circular area. So it's going to be pi times the circular area is going to be, we need to use a radius and square it first, and times it by pi. So there's the area of the base, okay, the area of the circle, and then we're going to multiply that by 1.6 millimeters. So we end up with 144 pi as the area of the base, and then times that by 1.6. So 144 times 1.6 is going to give us 230.4, and since there's a pi in there, we're just going to multiply that by pi, and we end up with 723.82 millimeters cubed. Now if you're off by a few decimals, that's fine. If that might be from rounding, so anything near that is going to be will be an appropriate answer. And so inside here, if you think about the like a 1 millimeter cubes, really tiny, there's about 724 of those that fit inside a regular quarter. So here we have the cylinder, and we're asked to find the surface area and volume. So work with the surface area first. So to find the surface area, we work out the net. So there's two circles and a rectangular side surface. So the height of this side surface is 21 feet. The diameter is going to be 10 feet, so the radius is 5. And we want to know the width of that rectangular piece, and it's going to be the diameter times pi, the circumference, which is 10 pi. So we do 21 times 10 pi gives us 210 pi as the area of that rectangular piece. To find the area of the circular pieces, and there's two of them, we're going to square and times by 5. So we're going to square the radius and times by 5. And that's going to give us 25 pi units squared, which is about 78 or so. So to add up the surface area, we're going to take 25 pi plus 25 pi plus 210 pi, and that works out to be 260 pi. And when we work out the decimal value of that, so we have 260 times pi, and that's going to give us about 816.81 units squared. Well, in this case, it's going to be feet. So that we're going to get square feet. So that's our surface area. To calculate the volume then, the volume is much easier to calculate because now we have the area of the base, and the height of this cylinder is 21 feet. So we're going to use the area of the base as 25 pi squares, and then multiply that by 21. So we get 25 times 21. That's going to give us 525 pi square feet. Oh, sorry, cubic feet. Okay, because we're talking about volume. We times that by pi if we want the decimal. Okay, so 525 times pi gives us 1,649.34 cubic feet. Okay, so there's our volume. And again, just if you're off by a little bit, if you get about 1,650, that's close enough, because if we do any rounding, that's going to show up in our final answer.